All right. Let's get into it, man. Does my mic sound nice? Check one. Does my mic sound nice? Check two. Yes, indeed. The mic is sounding real nice right about now. Welcome, everybody. What's going on? How you doing? How's everybody feeling? All right. How is everybody doing out here? Yes, sir. Let's get a little things. There we go. We're going to get some things corrected up in this piece. All right. So, yeah, what's going on? So, yeah, we're going to get it started. We're going to get into it, man. We're not going to waste no time. And you guys see me talk about the Reparations Confusion Convention. And if you guys follow me also on my news channel, What's the 411 News, you also heard me report on the buffoonery and the coonery where they had this reparation, the road to reparations in Brooklyn, New York. And then y'all see me here when I talked about the Reparations Confusion Convention. Yeah, I've showed you that. And now what we're going to do is show you what the real reparations movement should look like. All right. So with no further ado, man, you rocking with the best thoughts of the week. Let's get it. You're rocking with the best thoughts of the week podcast. Yes, indeed. All right. So, yeah, we're going to show you what the real reparations movement should look like. All right. So we ain't going to waste no more time. With no further ado, we're going to be going in several days in a row. We're going to have different speakers. I'm going to pull up a reparations rally, the rally to reparations, or for reparations, excuse me. I'm trying to talk fast. I really want y'all to see this. And it's going to be in segments. All right. We're going to do it piece by piece, one speaker at a time. It's not going to be a whole 2 or 3 hours. It's going to just be a speaker, and then we're going to go to the next day, a speaker the next day, so y'all can see the difference between the speakers and what they was talking about from the confusion conventions and the coonery and buffoonery tours of some of these other reparations tours. I'll say you're going to see the difference in language and what people are talking about. All right. Now we're going to show you what the real reparations movement really looks like. All right. So with no further ado, man, let's play this video and let's get into it.
We are here in Washington, D.C. to finish the work Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. started when he said, "Freedom! We are coming to get our check." Yup. Atlanta, where you at? I heard we had some people here from Chicago. What about LA? All right. I heard we had some folks here from Texas and also Florida, Connecticut, Maryland. What about VA? Welcome, peace, love, and reparations. First of all, let's give our black selves a black hand for showing up today. All right, y'all, peace, love, and reparations. We're so grateful to be here for our first FBA rally for reparations. So I just want to set the tone and the mood. We want to give thanks and praise to the Most High for bringing us out today, as well as the ancestors that shining down on us. Look at this beautiful weather. It is never this warm in DC in November ever. So we know that our mission and everything that we set out to do is blessed and highly favored. So we're really grateful for this experience. So we're coming to Washington, D.C. We are here in Washington, D.C. to finish the work that the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. started when he said, we're coming to get our checks from the government for breaking his promise of 40 acres and a mule. According to the Special Field Orders number 15 issued by General T. Sherman after the American Civil War, it's time for America to cut the check. Absolutely. We're also continuing the legacy of our living elder, Dr. Paul Anderson. Right? Let's clap it up for Dr. Paul Anderson. And also our ancestor who's shining down on us, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. And many others who led the charge for our justice claim as well as helped us identify the system of racism and white supremacy. And so what we're here to do today is to discuss lineage-based reparations, right, for our ethnic group, right? So when we say Foundational Black American, it is not an organization, it's not a political club, it's not a political party. It refers to a lineage and an ethnicity. Our ancestors are owed a debt from chattel slavery in this country. Can I get an amen? All right, so we're all on the same page. And while we understand that there are other folks in the space who may be our brothers and sisters from across the diaspora, so we're grateful to have y'all here as well. Let's clap it up for them too. Thank you. Because we understand that white supremacy is a global prison system and it affects all of us. And what we're here talking about today is our lineage-based reparations in America because they owe us a debt. So I'm going to bring up several people and I'll be coming back on, but we're going to do some interviews. But before we get there, I want us to also get grounded in what we mean exactly as we're talking about reparations. Well, what is it, right? So our sister Camilla Moore brought to our attention that there's an international definition of reparations, and it consists of 5 pillars. So before you leave here today, I'm going to make sure we all know the 5 pillars of reparations and what is owed to us, how and why. So the first pillar is compensation. That's cash. Clap it up for some cash. Yep. The second pillar is restitution. Right? We want restitution from things like stolen land, stolen labor, our intellectual property, all of our inventions that were stolen that our ancestors didn't get credit for, even some things that we may have created that we haven't gotten credit for. And also, Black Americans' cultural contributions to American society and really to the world. You see how they're trying to hijack hip-hop. They've hijacked the blues, jazz, and everything else. Those are our cultural creations. So that falls under number 2, which is restitution. Number 3, rehabilitation. That means free medical care, education, legal and trauma services, right? So that's rehabilitation, making us whole after we have been, done this atrocity to help us heal. That's number 3. Number 4 is satisfaction. So it's like symbolic forms of reparations such as a formal apology, the removal of Confederate statues, placing our own statues up. I want to see a statue up of Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. I want to see a statue up of Dr. Clark and so many other people, right? So that would fall under satisfaction. Those are symbolic gestures that, America can do to right their wrongs for our Ma'afa, our Black American Holocaust. All right? And number 5 is a guarantee of non-repetition. This is so important. We need policies such as like an anti-Black hate crime bill to hold people accountable to make sure that these race soldiers don't continue to hurt us. We need to make sure that we're able to hold on to our civil rights and our God-given rights in this country so that slavery doesn't repeat itself. So that falls under number 5, guarantee of repetition. So I'm just going to read them off really quickly. The 5 pillars of reparations, according to international law. 1, compensation. Repeat after me. Compensation. 2, restitution. 3, rehabilitation. 4, satisfaction. And 5, guarantee of non-repetition. Clap it up for yourselves. All right, so
All right, so there you have it. We're going to set it off just like that. All right. And yeah, like I said, notice the talk is about Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, right? That's what we're talking about when it comes to reparations. We didn't notice there was no afro-descendants brought into the mix. All right. Notice we was talking about cash payments. All right. Bringing the monuments instead of having all these General Lees and all these other racist soldiers and generals and presidents and things like that who had slaves. We're talking about putting up statues of Dr. Francis Quest Welsing. Let's have one of Dick Gregory. Let's have one of Dr. John Clark. Let's have one of Dr. Claude Anderson, and so on and so on and so on. Let's have one of Khalid Muhammad. All right. That's what we're talking about. Let's have one up. I think there might be one up, or was it? But anyway, let's look at something like that. Malcolm X, Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Claude Anderson. Even though Dr. Claude Anderson is alive, he deserves to have a statue right now. Give him his flowers. All right. That's what we're talking about with the real reparations. Not all this nonsense that I showed y'all and exposed, where people got upset and wanted to comment and put a lot of babbling in the comments. And so there you have it. All right. So we just setting it off with this first one. We're going to get into the next one. The next episode, it's going to be about 7, 8 or 9 different speakers, just like these conventions had their speakers. Now we're going to give you our speakers. All right. And really bring to the forefront what the real reparations movement should be about and what it looks like. Not all this other nonsense you guys been seeing and the real confusion wording that they use and the trickery. All right. And trying to bring in all other groups when all other groups as a whole don't really, you might have little people here and there in different groups, Cubans, Afro-Cubans, Afro-Latinos, which I haven't really heard of any Afro-Latinos rocking with us. But you have maybe one person or 2 people here and there. But as a whole, these folks don't care about Black Americans. All right. Foundational Black Americans. And it's been proven there's plenty of video out there to show that. There's plenty of receipts, if you will. So we setting it off right here with the first speaker slash host, if you will, or hostess, if you will. And there's going to be other speakers. All right. So you get to see what it's really about and how it's really going down. And then you can compare between the two. The Confusion Convention, the Reparations Confusion Convention, and the Rally for Reparations, the Real Reparations Movement. All right. And also you had that reparations, the road to reparations that happened in Brooklyn, New York. We had a one clip. If you guys want to go to What's the 411 News, I'll probably put a link in the description here to that particular news report. And you see that one. And we only had one video where this guy was just, what he was doing had nothing to do with reparations. So if you guys want to see that, I'll put the link in the description and you can check that out. All right. So with that being said, man, we're going to keep it moving for the next one, next episode. All right. So you rocking with the best thoughts of the week. We out. Peace. You're rocking with the best thoughts of the week podcast. Sorry.